So on today's show, we will have our special guest, Miss Taia Henderson. Hi,
Hi, LaToya. How are you?
I'm good. Hmm.
Good.
How was your day?
My day was well. How was your day?
It was actually pretty good.
Good.
So, for the record, can you state your full name, please?
My name is Taia Henderson.
Okay. And for the record, can you also tell us what you do for a living?
I work in human resources for the Department of Veterans Affairs, in New Jersey.
Thank you. So, for today's topic, we're actually going to be discussing the 5 exemplary practices of leadership. Can you tell us what they are?
Sure. The 5 exemplary practices of leadership are: 1, model the way; 2, inspire a shared vision; 3, challenge the process; 4, enable others to act; and the fifth one is encourage the heart.
Okay. And do you feel that by practicing these behaviors that it really do make an effective leader?
Most definitely. I have learned that um, when people look towards leadership or look towards leaders, they expect certain attributes and certain characteristics. And when you, statistically speaking, honesty, forward, hiring, and being someone who's competent all rank at the top. And so if you take those characteristics and you compare them with the 5 exemplary practices, they pretty much are the same. For example, the attribute and characteristic of being an honest individual means you're able to model the way, which is uh, the first exemplary practice of being an effective leader, is modeling the way. And that's obviously being honest with yourself, with who you are, and with your constituents. You can't expect your constituents to follow you if you're not leading by example. So, and then also with someone who's inspiring, leaders or constituents want leaders who are inspiring. So that would pertain to inspire a shared vision. You need to be able to make sure your constituents are able to see the overall goal, make sure that they believe in it, they're able to achieve it, and they're on board. So definitely an effective leader embodies all 5 exemplary practices.
I actually like that kind of elaborate a little bit on those, and actually to point out, friends, inspire a shared vision. I
Mm-hmm.
like that one a lot too because, which all of them pretty much they go hand in hand. But I love the inspire a vision because I look at my nonprofit that I have, and I have this vision for it, and when I go out and I tell other people about my vision, I can't just um just not model what I'm supposed to be doing for them and not really, be on track with it. And then as I'm sharing my vision with other people, I have to make sure that I'm modeling the vision that I see and not being off track, because if I do that, then people won't believe in me because I don't technically believe in myself. And so when you're passionate, as a leader about making a difference, which is my nonprofit is about, counseling and making a difference, I kind of see other things in my life that helps me envision my future better. And when you get everybody in your corner that's on your team to see that shared vision, they begin to look at you as a leader if you're effectively doing it. So if you're not, and you're just trying to basically be a manager to them and managing them and not, letting them see that vision, like, look, guys, this is how I seen it on my vision board that I wrote, versus me just saying, guys do this, but they don't see the success at the end of it. They just basically see themselves as being a slave. Then I don't feel like my organization will be profitable if I am not really giving them my vision to look at, to look something good to look forward to. And so I kind of, like that. But also, I wanted to know if you can give us an example of how have you or anyone else in your life exemplified this behavior, like any one of the 5 behaviors.
Well, I would say my dad. My dad has been a driving force in my life. He's been, my number one fan. He's always been there to guide me, and he's always modeled the way. He's always inspired a shared vision. He's always challenged the process. He's always enabled others to act and encouraged the heart. Um, for example, in terms of modeling the way, he may not have modeled the way for me per se because I'm a woman, he's a man, we're different. But in terms of the life that he envisioned for his children and the things that he wanted for us, and his biggest thing was always education. No matter what you do in this life, you need to have an education. And even though it may have taken me a couple of years to finish, I eventually did. And or maybe a few, maybe not a couple, but a few years. I eventually did, and that's with his vision. There were many days I can remember being a little girl, coming home from school, and we literally, this is no joke, we would literally play school after school. So it would be me and my cousin. We grew up together. We went to the same school, so my dad would pick us up. We'd always go get chicken nuggets from McDonald's, come home. He had a chalkboard that he would whip out every day, and we practice spelling, or we do math, or we do, reading, or just something. But he always just pushed education. And in terms of, enabling others to act and encouraging the heart, he set the core foundations of what it took to be, an independent woman, and to be, just to know that you can dream and aspire to achieve those dreams and encourage the heart. He always just, the way he explained things and the way he drew the picture of life for you, it was something that you could see. Like, it was never, oh no, did we get cut off again?
Okay, you were saying that your father drew a way for you to see. Okay.
Right. He's always, are you still there? Okay, I hear you. He's always made things seem as though they were achievable. He never made it seem like, you can't be anything, or there were limitations. He spoke things to you in a way that made you feel, yes, I can do it. So with that, along with other things, he's always just been a great leader for our family. And like I said, not just for myself, but for my siblings, his grandchildren. Everyone looks up to my dad. So he's the leader of our family.
Well, I'm kind of happy actually that you in your life. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But back to what I was saying. I'm sorry about that. So my mother did. She encouraged the heart. She's always telling us, no matter what, reach for the stars. Like, keep going. You're better than what you see. Stuff like that. And I remember like doing the same thing you did, studying. When I got home from school, me and my cousin, and we would play teacher, or we would play court, stuff like that. So it was always my mom, like, she used to wake us up in the middle of the night when we had homework, like to study our spelling bee. She'd wake up, especially like my sister, because my sister was always in honors classes, and my sister's 2 years older than me. She would always get on us about school. Like, she was one of those parents who, she didn't go to school, she believed her kids should go, finish college. She still felt like her kids should do it. So she would come to our school. She was one of those involved parents where she'll be at our school getting us involved in stuff, letting us know pretty much, she didn't say it back then, but basically so we wouldn't be a statistic.
Right.
The vision that she for us, whether we seen it or not at the time, it was school was what the answer was, because back then certain stuff was deprived to older women, and already women couldn't really have rights to read this and that. So I felt like back then allowing us to read. And so when we would go on trips, man, my sister thought it was fun to take a dictionary and write from the front to the back the whole way to Tallahassee. From Tampa, we would write the dictionary. Like my mom bought us a kids dictionary, and we would write from A to Z, and we would like not only write A, but we would write like the like if it said apple or all the A words, we'll write in the dictionary. Even with my sister, I can remember it was a storm here, the first hurricane that was bad here. I think it was Hurricane Adams, I want to say, but it was a storm here in Tampa. And my sister wanted to be a journalist. So my mom actually drove my sister to like in the heart of the storm because she wanted to take pictures and write.
Wow.
Yes. And she and to me, I'm like, yes. And I'm like, my mom, and like no matter what I tell her I want to do, like I used to sing and I used to always say, Mom, because my auntie them used to kind of like sometimes try to discourage me. And my mom would be like, basically my cheerleader, like, girl, you got it. And I knew I had it, but I didn't know. So she kind of like just always encouraged me to like do and keep going, no matter how I may see that the road may be bumpy. She'd say, keep going, you got this. I'm at the end of the light for you. And my grandma would do the same thing. And so for me, that kind of leadership, whether it's in your life, at a job field or your, your regular home field, is those 5 practices of leadership is great. And people don't really know the difference. They, like you said before, people see managing and leading as the same thing, and it's not.
Definitely not. Managers, I believe, are more geared towards, controlling their employees, basically conditioning them to pump out all this work and be productive. Whereas leadership, obviously, if it's for an organization, that's the ultimate goal. But they're also in tune with the interpersonal side and the personal side of leadership, because people, we're humans, we're not machines. We need to feel appreciated. We need to be challenged every now and again, because we tend to get complacent and we tend to get repetitive with our daily duties or daily responsibilities. And so, when a good leader comes along and, challenges you, and as well as your job, or challenges you to, strive for more, or enables you to act, providing you with the necessary tools and the motivation to, thrive. It's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing. And it's a wonderful thing to be a leader and to see a person, go from point A to point B and so forth, all just based on your leadership style. So I think it's rewarding on both ends.
Well, I do thank you very, very much. I love this interview.
I do as well.
And I really thank you. So I will be seeing you soon.
All right. I thank you for having me. I enjoyed it, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Have a good night.
The podcast you just heard was published with Anchor. Got something you want to say to the creator of this show? Send them a voice message using the Anchor app, free for iOS and Android.